Hey, everybody. I have an incredible guest here today, good friend of mine named Megan Patton. Megan, my dear friend, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Megan Patton, and I am a business strategist, coach, and consultant. What does that mean? It means that I work with people who want more out of their business, want more out of their professional life, but aren't quite sure how to get it. So we look at ways to improve what they're working on. If they've got a team, we work on how that team can work more effectively together to hit the company's strategy. And I'm just all about helping people focus and thrive in what they do.
I love that. We all need that. Everybody hear that? Focus and thrive. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Megan. So for those of you who know, we always spend time together in the green room, and Megan has a great story, something that pretty much she enjoyed as a child, she experienced as a child, and actually has set the trajectory to how she lives her life today. So let's share that story, Megan, because I think it's so great and offers so much value in how we can help people in the workplace today.
Sure. Well, it goes way back to the olden days, but when I was about 4 years old, my father actually joined the Peace Corps. He joined as an administrator. This was in the early days of the Peace Corps. I think it was just a couple of years old at that time. And he and my mother took all 8 of us, right? We had 8,
Wow.
8 kids. 8 kids and 2
Wow.
parents. We packed it up and went to Seoul, South Korea for 4 years, where my dad was working in the administration of Peace Corps. Came back after that 4 years, and he was actually with the Peace Corps in Washington, D.C. in the headquarters. And during that time, those 6 years were just incredible for me because as a young child, I was exposed to all kinds of people coming to our dining room table. And our dining room table discussions were just absolutely incredible.
Oh,
we
wow.
had Peace Corps volunteers, we had Korean government officials,
Wow.
we had diplomats, all kinds of people. And, I, being so young, didn't realize that this was anything different or special. I just thought this is how everybody grew up. I know, right? It's like
That's good. Everybody else is doing this. That's all.
Right. Excuse me. And as I went through life, I realized that so much of that time period actually informed who I was and who I am today. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is I had the incredible privilege of being surrounded by diversity, by people of different cultures, different races, different economic statuses, different ways of thinking, right? And so how that has carried with me through my life and how I utilize that in my coaching and consulting now is that I'm able to meet people where they are. I feel that it is so incredibly important to withhold judgment, right? Listen to people, find out where are they coming from? What are their beliefs? How have their belief systems impacted their life and their work and their professional being? And when you can suspend judgment and meet people where they are, the power in that is absolutely incredible. I can appreciate all of those different perspectives. And it really allows for, kind of throwing everything else away. And again, getting to the heart of the matter, which during which then we can help people focus and thrive. So I'm so appreciative of that experience. And, you see it today, quite frankly, not to get into politics, but, our society has become very divided. And people say, if you voted this way, or if you believe this, then unfriend me now, right? And to me, I have a huge curiosity. So I might say to somebody, tell me why you voted this way, or tell me why you believe this. I'm curious, right? And so that sense of curiosity to learn those different perspectives enables me to be better at what I do.
I love everything about that. Your curiosity is your capacity to never stop learning, right? And that's so
Absolutely.
important, right? It's so important for us to be aware and open-minded and approach, and I've said this a few times before, but as a beginner's mind. So
Right.
rather than place judgment, you're like, tell me more. Tell me more about your logic, right? I love that.
Absolutely. I mean, and I see it as a gift, that gift to be able to withhold judgment, right? It's like lose my perspective for a minute and just be curious and just ask the questions and appreciate, what, because we don't know what experiences or life history or traumatic events might have informed somebody else's position, right?
Right,
And so I
right.
think we hold that gently and we
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yep. And you know what else, Megan, as I think about this and as I listen to you, it's not just important for the people who we are face to face. It's important to remember when we're in our cars,
Yeah, right?
right? When someone
Exactly.
cuts you off, you have no idea. This came up a few episodes ago, and my guest name was Diane Grossman, and she said, you have no idea if that person's rushing to the hospital because their kid has cancer or something's happened. So it's just holding back and saying, you know what? They cut me off. I'm going to be okay with that. It's always
Right.
remembering that. So it's not just when we're, in the workplace or in the Zoom room, wherever we are, also in our cars to say, okay, I need to take a place of kindness here.
Right. Absolutely. And that's so simple to do. And I'll be honest, like I'm not always that way. If my husband listens to this podcast, he'll laugh. He'll be like, okay, Miss Road Rage. But I do try to remember that. And one episode really struck me one time. It made a big difference when I pulled up into a gas station. And you know how you pull up in a gas station and you might not go the exact distance or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I had blocked another person from being able to access the what do you call it? The filling station right in front of me.
Right.
And he was so irate and angry. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Took off my gas can, backed up, put it back in, put the hose back in. And I said, truly, I wasn't thinking, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your day. And he was so appreciative of that. Like the impact of me, I could have just been, flippant or
Right.
whatever, but it's like taking that small step to say, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. And the power of an apology is huge. It's huge,
Huge.
right?
And you know what you're saying is so timely. So let's think about, maybe not too much, what's happened in the past 2 years. So we're
Right.
kind of fried, we're tired, maybe not as tolerant, but this is where we should take a step back and realize that you don't know what that other person's been through, and that power of an apology is huge. You said it so well, right? Just take a step back. I love that, Megan. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So what else can we share of your experience with, all that you've learned in being around all of these diplomats, all of these important people? Like, I think that is so fascinating. The important people in my life were other people in my family who also immigrated, right? So that was the different culture. It's kind of how I grew up. But I'm sure you have so many stories. Is there one in particular that really set the tone for you to say, yeah, I'm gonna do that?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think that it was cumulative, all of
Okay.
that, because again, I was so young when it started that to me it was just normal. And when I graduated from college, I went ahead and joined the Peace Corps myself. And I spent almost 4 years in Nepal, which was absolutely incredible. So obviously my youth informed that decision. And then being able to get fluent in another language, to truly understand the culture, the differences. It allows me to bring back into my leadership roles with boards, into my consulting with clients. again, it's just that appreciation of different perspectives. So I'm just as comfortable working with somebody on the factory floor as I am working with a CEO of a large company, because I have, I've had so many experiences that says, okay, here's this person over here, I can relate to something. And that's another important thing. I always focus, and again, it's my honest, genuine curiosity. I want to find out something about you, right?
Yeah.
I want to learn a little tidbit so that I can connect with you on some level. And I'm never just all business all the time. I like to find a little bit of a personal connection, not invasive, not nosy,
Right.
but just,
Right.
who are you? What are you passionate about? Right.
Right.
And that is a great connector.
It's a great connector and so very important when we've been distanced physically, right? So, and we are all one. I bet you can find that commonality in just about everyone, right? You
Sure.
just there's going to be at least one, and probably more the more you keep talking. I love that. So in all of these great presentations that you lead, what is perhaps an article of clothing or an accessory that you wear that gives you that sense of power and confidence and that just makes you feel great? Is there something that you turn to, Megan, time and time that gives you that energy?
Yeah, I would say, it's interesting. It's not necessarily an article of clothing per se, because I'm one of those people who has the interesting experience of always changing sizes. But what I do rely on are what I would call, my power colors or my favorite colors. A color that I put on, this is actually one of them, and
Yes, it
royal
is.
blue is the
Mhm.
other. And so when I'm wearing either royal blue or this particular shade of pink, I just feel like, okay, I can go out and conquer.
Yep. And you're right. There is a lot of power behind the colors that you're wearing. Absolutely. There's a lot of research, even in the blue, it makes you feel more truthful. We could do a whole nother episode on that. But the beautiful thing is that you do know your colors, and it reflects on you, and your skin looks brighter and your hair looks great. Like it is important. So thank you for bringing that up. You're the first guest to mention that color is an important aspect of how we present ourselves. So Megan, this has been so pleasurable. I love talking with you. We've talked before, but if someone else wanted to reach out to you and talk to you about either your experience or find that commonality, or perhaps, about your coaching, where's the best place for them to find you?
Say probably LinkedIn is the best place. And
Okay.
I can be reached at Megan O'Donnell Patton. So I have all three names in there. Megan O'Donnell Patton on LinkedIn.
I will absolutely put that in the show notes to make it real easy, that they just have to tap on it. It'll bring you to the LinkedIn page. And yeah, it is perfect. I thank you so much for your time today and your tips. And what can I say? It's another sunny day.
This has been great. Thank you so much for the invitation. I love talking with you.
Oh, thank you.